Hello, Galaxy! I'm Chris Pirillo, and you're watching the Locker Gnome Daily Report, or TLDR for short. And I wanted to talk about Windows 11, now that it is dropped on my desk, right here in the background. And yes, it is an interactive screen. It is an interactive display look. I can touch it and move it around. But by this point, you've probably already downloaded and installed it on one of your PCs. One of your PCs. I have not installed it on all of my PCs, just this one, because I'm playing it very cautiously. As much as Microsoft has done a pretty good job with testing and fleshing out bugs, I'm not quite sure if I'm personally ready to move to Windows 11 on a production machine, but there are many things that I love about Windows 11, so I thought I would go through that today, and then tomorrow talk about the things that I don't like. So you're getting the love, tomorrow you get the hate. It's a balance around here. Speaking to a video I recorded yesterday, some initial Windows 11 thoughts. Windows 11 is definitely a cleaner direction for Windows. It definitely feels more like a modern framework built for the future, but it's the same old Windows, fundamentally. Like, if you're used to Windows, you're not really going to be thrown off. Now, I know some people are like, well, I'm really thrown off. It's different. No, it looks different, but it really kind of isn't. There's nothing that felt like it was a dramatic departure. And this, to me, is more of a good thing, because so many people are resistant to change, and they ran into that wall back in the days of Windows 8. Oh, I remember those days. Windows 8 looked great. It just had a really questionable user experience. Great UI, questionable UX, and that turned out to be the case. I called the ball on that one. But the Windows UI hasn't really changed the Windows UX. It's just made it ready to continue to be iterated upon, which is fine. Now, it should be a seamless update for most. This is an Intel Core i7 11th gen processor right back here, because of course, Intel for the win. Disclosure, I work for Intel. It's also got XE graphics integrated and discrete inside. Yeah! It's a full-on Intel machine back here. Of course, I wanted to test it with Windows 11. It's been great. It's been fine. I can't say that I felt it was faster or felt any faster than Windows 10 did on that machine, but certainly there are speed improvements that have come in tow, according to Microsoft. Not dramatic improvements, but really, if they've increased the fluidity of this machine incrementally, then I'm satisfied. So it's a similar experience with a largely newer sheen that will steadily improve. And that's the thing that I think is what I love most about Windows 11. Microsoft is setting out to improve it. No, they're not, to my knowledge, going to stop with where they are, and they shouldn't, until everything about Windows feels the same. It ain't there. There are too many legacy components. Too many things that are rooted firmly in the past. I want to say going all the way back to like Windows 95. Wow. I understand compatibility, but let's hope they just keep moving along and at a rapid pace. But the fact that they did this gets me excited about Windows again. And that's also what I love. I love feeling hopeful that the platform is going to evolve, that they've course-corrected with their design decisions, and are working to unify around a better, cleaner, comprehensive user experience. And now I'm antsy. I find myself very, very, not anxious when using Windows 11, but antsy. Like, I want better, faster, more. Because I like the user interface changes that Microsoft has made. And so that's the thing that I love. Not the user experience necessarily, which I'm still kind of iffy on, but it's a nice visual update. But it's not just the components that look better. It just feels, as I mentioned before, a little more modern. So my hope is that Microsoft, in taking this change, or making this change and taking this approach with Windows 11, could potentially spark new innovations. And you don't really see a lot happening with software on that front. Usually it's the hardware that gets innovated. Like things change in the hardware and the usability with the hardware. But I'm hoping for more software changes coming down the pike. I like that Microsoft is trying new things. I like that they're not afraid to just do this, say, all right, here's what it's going to be, here's how we're rolling forward, this is the decision we're making. We've needed that for some time. Windows 10 was fine. I was okay with Windows 10. I'm using an Intel Nook to power this particular live stream on Twitch, and of course recording the Twitch video to post to YouTube. I'm live every night on Twitch, by the way. That's where the community is. But in trying this, they're basically saying, all right, we think we can do Windows better. And, you know, that's, again, something that I feel cannot be understated enough, is the direction that they're going. And you may not like everything about what's changed in Windows, but me not really considering myself a Windows power user anymore. I'm not even sure if I consider myself a power user of anything at this point in my life. I've become more of a point, click, set it and forget it kind of guy. You know, even all the way to when it comes to 3D printing. If you heard the printer stop there, it's because the mythosaur skull pumpkin face modeled by Fix'em Dude, one of our mods, completed printing so I could attach it to this pumpkin. I need the little notches in there. So the interface elements may throw you off, and there are ways to mitigate that. You could even, if you wanted to, switch the start menu from the middle of the screen to the left, and I went to the left. I'm like, I'll admit, I'm more accustomed to it being down there. I'm fine with it in the middle, but I was like, you know, I'm just gonna keep it there for now, see how it goes. I'm not that thrown off by it, and I'm more inclined to move my cursor in the lower left-hand corner. So for usability's purposes, I'm much more inclined to get to the Windows button that way than I am in the middle of the screen where it would take a little more coordination. So if you didn't know that, you could do that. I also love that search is granular, very fast, or at least it seems to be very snappy. For example, when I was staging to do this video, I went into the menu and I searched for sleep because I needed to make sure that the screen stayed on. You don't need to see this up close. You could do this on your own screen. It's not that interesting. But it was a clean interface, a clean experience. I knew exactly what I needed, and it put me right into the option, the best match, change when the PC sleeps when plugged in. That's exactly what I wanted. That's exactly what I needed, and it popped me right into the settings, which was great. And then from there, I was able to change things. And yes, this is a touchscreen device. The news feed, this is kind of new. Not sure I'm in love with that. I'll get into it tomorrow, but I like that they're trying something new. I've got some feedback for them. The news feed, even though I customized it to be Lego and Star Wars, doesn't have a lot of Lego and Star Wars, but theoretically I could have Lego and Star Wars all the time in my news feed. But anyway, yeah, they're trying. That's an example of where they are trying something new, and I like when platforms try new things that may turn out to work well. When they try new things that I wasn't necessarily looking for, but turned out to be a boon, like the weather in the taskbar. I love that in Windows 10. I'm like, I need it again. So I don't know where it is. I missed that already. I love having the weather down there. And it's not in Windows 11, so I can't say that I love that. But I'll save that for tomorrow stuff. I also love that you can hover over maximize and minimize buttons to get a better way of snapping the window into different parts of the screen. Great little shortcut, great addition. Love that they iterated that. Then the other thing I was going to mention, that so many PCs out there should be compatible. Can I say that again? PCs, as opposed to CPs, should be compatible with the update. So if your system and the checks that you're on say it should be good, maybe give it a day or so and give it a shot. Back up before you do that. The last thing I was going to note is that the App Store, the Universal App Store, where they're allowing different apps to come in and different vendors, may very well cut down on a lot of the crap download scam websites out there. So that's also a huge win. What do you think? Is Windows 11 a win?